Hi kids! How are you today? I hope you are doing great. Welcome to another day of learning opportunity. I am your teacher, Ma'am Sheila B. Belda. Today, I will be discussing topics for English 5, Quarter 2, Weeks 1, 2, and 3. In this lesson, you are expected to compose clear and coherent sentences using aspects of verbs. Let us read the sentences below. Tita Joanna works hard to send her children in college. She worked as a waitress in a restaurant. She will work in a foreign country to support her children's education. Now, notice what the highlighted words express. These words are known as verbs. They express actions that take place in different periods such as present, past, and future tenses of the verbs. Tenses of verbs are necessary to show the differences as to when an action occurs or happens. Write the correct form of the verb listen as indicated in the parentheses. Do this in your notebook. Number 1. I blank to bedtime stories every night. Number 2. She blanked to the news yesterday. Number 3. Yang blanked to her newly downloaded songs tonight. Number 4. Willie blanked to the voice clip before the battery of his gadget completely drained. And number 5. We blanked to the instructions while doing the activities. Now, what is a verb? A verb is composed of tense and aspect. A verb tense or the time event is indicated by past, present, and future. Meanwhile, aspect refers to the state of action of a verb and indicates the duration or completion of an event. There are 4 types of verb aspects. We have the simple, progressive, perfect, and perfect progressive. Simple aspect. The simple present tense is used to describe general truths and habitual actions. Examples: the earth rotates around the sun. Delia walks to school every day. The sun rises in the east. And they spend their vacation in Batanes every year. Remember, if the subject is singular, use the S form of the verb. And if the subject is plural and or pronouns I and you, use the base form of the verb. Letter B. The simple past tense is used to express an event or habitual action that has completed in the past. Examples: the children watched a documentary film. It rained almost every week last month. Letter C. The simple future tense is used to express an action or habitual action to take place in the future time. Examples: they will celebrate the United Nations Day in October. And after December, Richard will take the train to work every day. Use will plus base form of the verb to the simple future tense. Next, let's move on to the progressive aspect. Under it, we have the present progressive. The present progressive expresses ongoing actions. Examples: The students are taking the test now. Another example, the teacher is preparing the lessons. Use be verb plus ing form of the verb in the present progressive. Next, the past progressive. The past progressive expresses an action in progress at some specific point of time in the past. Examples: Timmy was walking to the office at 7 o'clock this morning. Another example, I was preparing for the church at 6 o'clock yesterday. A past action simultaneous with another event. Example, they were preparing for the party when the visitors came. So, use be verb plus ing form of the verb. Letter C. The future progressive expresses an action that will be in progress at a specific time in the future. Examples, Trina will be graduating from elementary this year. And the grade 5 pupils will be attending mass tomorrow. So, we use will plus be plus ing form of the verb. Let's move on now to the perfect aspect. Under it, we have letter A, the present perfect. The present perfect expresses an action that began in the past and continues to the present time. Example, Sheila has been a Girl Scout since last year. So, a very recently completed action, we have the often with just. Examples, Berta had just baked cookies. I have called the plumber. So, if the subject is singular, use has plus the past participle of the verb. And if the subject is plural and or pronouns I and you, remember to use have plus the past participle of the verb. Next, for letter B, the past perfect is used to express an action in the past before another past event or time. Example, some supporters had already left before they proclaimed the elected officers. So, we use had plus the past participle of the verb. Letter C, the future perfect expresses a future action that will be completed before a specific future time. Example, I will have finished the school project before 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So, we use will and have plus the past participle of the verb. Let's move on now to the perfect progressive aspect. So, the present perfect progressive, that is under the perfect progressive aspect, we have the present perfect progressive for letter A. It expresses an action in progress that is not yet been completed or a situation or habit that began in the past and that continues up to the present. Examples, we have Rowena has been reading that book. I have been accomplishing the task in this module. And another example, the athletes have been practicing. So, always remember that if the subject is singular, use has plus been plus ing form of the verb for singular. And if the subject is plural and or pronouns I and you, use have plus been plus ing form of the verb. Next, letter B, the past perfect progressive. So past perfect progressive expresses an action or habit taking place over a period of time in the past before another past event or time. So So examples, Carla had been trying to finish her degree last year. My father had been performing well, so the company gave him an award. So we use had plus been plus ing form of the verb. Letter C, the future perfect progressive. It expresses a habitual action that is taking place in the present and will continue in a specific future time. Examples, next month, the Bayanihan Dance Club will have been performing for 5 years. And Helen will have been teaching for 10 years next week. So we use will and have and been and ing form of the verb. Now let's move on to learning task. Identify the appropriate simple present tense of the verb to be used in each time or each item. Write your answers in your notebook. For learning task 3, identify the appropriate simple past tense of the verb to be used in each item. Write your answers in your notebook. Learning task 4. Write the simple future tense of each given verb inside the parentheses. Again, do this in your notebook. Let's move on now to learning task 5. Copy the table below in your notebook. Then, identify the forms of the verbs, study and prepare, using the aspects of verbs indicated in column 1. Forms of the verb known in column 2, verb as an example. Learning task 6. Compose clear and coherent sentences using the given verbs and their aspects. Write your sentences in your notebook. Then, complete the paragraphs below by supplying the missing terms. Select from the given choices below. Write your answers in your notebook. Let's move on now to modals. What are modals? Modals are considered as special verbs. They give or provide additional concepts on the function of the main verb. They may indicate inference or prediction, necessity, request, permission, obligation, possibility, advice, ability, prohibition, or reference. So, at the end of this lesson, you are all expected to compose clear and coherent sentences using appropriate modals. Study the infographics below. Notice the words should and may in the given infographics. They are examples of modals. In the first infographic, should is used to show obligation. Meanwhile, The use of may in the second infographic shows possibility. Modals have various forms. These forms create meanings as they carry with them their specific functions. For learning task 1, complete each sentence by supplying the appropriate modals. Select from the given choices. Be guided by the functions shown inside the parentheses. Do this in your notebook. Now, for further explanation, in addition, modals, also known as modal auxiliaries. They are helping verbs used with main verbs. They express particular mood or expressions, telling whether speaker wants to convey a fact, a possibility, or a command. Study the table below. So we have the modals or modal auxiliaries, its uses, and examples. So for modals or modal auxiliaries, we have may and might. Its uses to express possibility. Examples, we may go out to watch a movie tonight. Another example for may and might, Paul and Paula might buy a house. So may and might also is used to express a request or ask permission. Example, may I borrow your books? Another modal, we have must. Use is to express a command or strong obligation. Example, you must obey your parents. Can, could. It express a request or ask permission. Examples, can I go with my best friend? Another example, could I have your books? Another for can and could. It express or its use is to express a fact, ability, offer, or suggestions. Example, I can or could do this task for you. So let's move on now to should and ought to. The uses or the use is to express advice or obligation. Example, I should or ought to drive carefully. Next, would. To express polite, wish, request, demand, or order. Example, would you please talk to me? Will. To express a wish, a request, a demand, or order, and to express prediction. Examples, will you talk to me? And I think it will rain anytime today. For the modal shall, to express suggestions. So example, we have the shall we proceed with our meeting? Another, we have for shall, the use is to regulate or express future actions in formal speech and some legal documents. Examples rather, you shall abide by the law, and the client shall pay the necessary damages. Okay, let's move on now to learning task 2. Complete each sentence by supplying the appropriate modals. Select from the given choices. Be guided by the functions shown inside the parentheses. Do this in your notebook. So the choices are may, can, might, shall, and should. Learning Task 3. Compose clear and coherent sentences using the given modals and their functions below. Write your answers or sentences in your notebook. So we have the modals shall, must, can, may, and should. Next, what are your skills or talents? Complete the prompts below using the given modals. Do this in your notebook. So we have I can, blank, I may, I shall, and I must. So now, let's move on to conjunctions. Conjunctions are important features of the English grammar or English language. They are used to connect words, phrases, and sentences. The use of conjunctions helps in establishing clear connections, meanings, and ideas. In this lesson, you are expected to compose clear and coherent sentences using appropriate conjunctions. Let's read and study the sentences below. Lito prepared pasta and pizza for his late-night snacks. He didn't prepare burger nor fries as his big late-night snacks. He had prepared pasta before he baked his favorite pizza as his late-night snacks. Now, notice what the highlighted words express. And, nor, and before. The and, nor, and before are some of the commonly used conjunctions. They express or show connection between words, phrases, and sentences. Learning Task 1. Identify the best conjunction to be used in each item. Select from the given option below. Do this in your notebook. Now let us study further about conjunctions. Conjunctions connect words, phrases, clauses, or sentences. So examples, Jay and Dan, apple or mango, crispy chicken and creamy spaghetti, hot coffee or cold juice. She was sure about her answers, but she missed one question. There are two types of conjunctions: the coordinating and subordinating conjunctions. Coordinating conjunctions connect words or group of words that are of equal importance. For example, we have for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. Okay, so for, the meaning of for is because. Example, my mother needs to work day and night for she is a single mom for 5 kids. And, meaning plus. I love English and Filipino subjects. Nor, meaning negative alternative. Neither Mila nor Alice joins the Taekwondo club. But, meaning shows contrast. Example, we want to play computer games, but we need to study our lessons. Or, meaning one of the two alternatives. Example, Verna will stay at home to relax or will go swimming with friends. For conjunction yet, meaning but, an example is Dino is already tired, yet determined to win. And we have so, meaning therefore. Example, Kim wants to make her mom proud, so he studies hard to excel in his school. So if you are using a coordinating conjunction to connect two complete sentences, you must use a comma. Remember the acronym FANBOYS, meaning for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. Let's move on to another type of conjunction. So we have the number 2, subordinating conjunctions. This conjunction joins two clauses, making one clause dependent or subordinate of the other clause. Examples, Mother brought an umbrella plus it was raining equals, so we have now, my mother brought an umbrella because it was raining. Or, because it was raining, my mother brought an umbrella. These words are commonly used as subordinating conjunctions. So, I will read the subordinating conjunctions, the meaning, and examples. Okay, subordinating conjunctions after, before, since, until, when, whenever, while, meaning to refer to time. Example, we watched our favorite show while waiting for our dinner. Another conjunction, where and wherever, meaning to show location. Example, Jason visited the shop where he brought or bought his books. Another subordinating conjunctions, we have than and whether, meaning to show preference or choice. Example, I have to decide whether to study or play. How about conjunctions as, because, and since, meaning to express a reason or cause. Example, Leia studies well because she wants to be a successful person someday. Another conjunctions, in order that, so that, and that, meaning to express a result or effect. Example, the guard opened the gate so that the pupils could get inside. Another subordinating conjunctions, we have if, even if, and unless, meaning to express a condition. Example, you will achieve your dreams if you study and work hard. Next conjunction, although, even, though, meaning to communicate contrast. Example, Emily still could not sleep although she was so tired. Now, let's move on now to learning task 2. Complete each sentence below by supplying the appropriate coordinating conjunction. Choose from the given options inside the box. Write your answers in your notebook. So we have for, and, but, or, and, so. For learning task 3, compose clear and coherent sentences using the given subordinating conjunctions and their functions below. Do this in your notebook. And complete the paragraphs below by supplying the appropriate terms of words. Select from the given choices inside the box. do this in your notebook. So the words inside the box are dependent, coordinating, equal, conjunctions, modals, to, subordinating, and fanboys. So kids, that's all for now. See you next time.